of Survivor, the legend, the champion, the villain, the hero. You're everything.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How's it feel to be $1 million richer?
It hasn't set in yet, so I couldn't even tell you that.
It's funny, everyone calls you this villain, but I don't see it.
No. I mean, I did what I had to do. I mean, yeah, I did villainous ththings, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm a hero. That's what I am.
I actually felt, it's funny, a lot of people gave you grief about being a police officer and, the code and honesty. I actually felt you were more a police officer through and through, because my understanding of a police officer is that they'll get the evidence from a perp any way they can. If that means making them think certain things, then that's the way you do it.
See, out in the streets as a police officer and in a strategic game, you have to put your feet in somebody's shoes. You have to think what the next move is going to be, and that's what I basically did out here. I put my feet in somebody's shoes and say, what is their next move? How am I going to counter that? So as far as like with the police thing, with the badge, with Sarah and stuff, like every day that I wear my badge, I risk my life literally to honor that badge. That's how I honor my badge. Not on Survivor by swearing on it and telling you I'm going to honor it, because on Survivor, nothing means anything with the exception of keeping your torch lit at the end of the tribal council. And that's all that matters in Survivor.
I think you played the purest game in the sense of how Jeff Probst describes the game, and that is to outwit, outplay, and outlast in any way you can.
Everything I did out there was situational strategy. When I came up with a spy shack, it's not something I went into the game with. There's nothing textbook about Survivor. If you go into Survivor with a paper strategy, kiss it goodbye, because you ain't winning. Everything has to be situational, and you have to be able to adapt and overcome every situation that's presented to you at the moment it's presented to you.
I was so nervous for you in Tribal Council. The first few answers, I was like, and it was interesting. There was just a little moment where you just switched, and it was like you relaxed and you owned it, and you just, I don't know, I felt like you just had a switch where you just kind of, I don't know, you changed tactic when you were talking about how you played, and you said, I never blindsided and I never backstabbed anyone unless they did it to me first. And I felt everybody just changed. Did you feel that too?
At Tribal Council, even before Tribal Council, I knew when you make the merge, all those people that you vote off are going to be jurors. So to me, when I made promises to people, I say, you know what, I need to get out of this promise, but I'm not going to backstab them and I'm not going to betray that promise. So what am I going to do? That's why with the LJ, I came up with this idea to say, oh yeah, you know what, LJ, who has an idol? What do you want to do? Once I heard LJ say that, he thought that I was paranoid, but I wasn't paranoid. I was tricking LJ to breaking his promise. So now LJ can't have hard feelings against me. He's got to say, oh man, this Tony guy, he was so wrong. I really didn't want to break the promise. But he's not looking at me like I'm the bad guy. He's looking at me like I was wrong about something. The Jeffra vote, I told everybody in the alliance, I said, listen guys, Jeffra was gonna backstab her. She was gonna betray the alliance, but the numbers weren't right for her. But what's gonna happen later when the numbers are right for her? So that's why I got rid of Jeffra. So I try to make it seem like I had a reason for everything to protect not only myself but the alliance. That was my whole strategy behind all those votes.
I don't think Jeffra got it, but I saw LJ he got it. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Off track completely. Tony's fireside chats. Spencer tweeting your phone conversations. They're very hilarious.
Yeah, well, Spencer's a brilliant guy, and because of him, I'm inspired to open up a college fund for my daughter and my new baby boy that's going to be born, because that guy's a genius. He's so smart. The way he talks is just, I mean, you see what he did for Tribal Council. He probably influenced the jury to flip and vote for me. Because he's smooth. And you know what? I have a high school diploma, and I don't sound nothing like he does.
Well, we saw the puzzle.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to even talk about the puzzles. But yeah, so my kids are definitely going to have a college fund out of this.
Yeah, we saw that. Everybody just changed direction. You saw it on their faces when he got up, and I don't think anyone expected him to speak on your behalf.
Yeah, no, Spencer was smooth. Spencer respects the game as a super fan, and he respected my game. He knows everything I did wasn't personal. It wasn't emotional. He knows everything I did was strategic, and I'm sure he would have done the same exact moves I would have done if he was a victim of circumstance. That's all. He was in a lesser number of alliance. I was in the popular alliance, so
I think you owe him a couple of beers for that.
I think I owe him a couple more than that.
You were very, very popular on Twitter. It was funny. You talked about the haters. Tony, there's a lot of support for you out there. A lot of support. There was a lot of Team Tony. I was one of them, I have to admit. What does Tony think of the Russell Hantz comparison?
Yeah, I did play. Russell's a good player. He plays a strategic game. He plays a strong game. He plays a fast game, and he's a good player. And I play the same game as he does. The only difference is who we are as people. He is who he is, and I am who I am. I'm a more humble Russell. That's what I am. I'm more personable. I'm more humble than he is. He's like, he votes somebody off, and he's like, in your face, I got you. You stupid. I'm better than you are. I'm not gonna do that. Not when the stakes are this high. The wounds are deep. The scars are forever.
You know that Russell's going to have something to say about that on Twitter, for sure.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, the other one is, Tony, why didn't you use your idol on Trish? There was no downside. Well, I think you kind of covered that, but...
I wanted Trish out. I mean, I'm not going to use the idol for her. That was part of my strategy. It was between Cass. I wanted to take Cass to the end, so I'm not going to vote her out. And then the two people that are likable, Trish and Wu. Out of those two people that are likable, Wu was the only one that was going to probably help me win a challenge. In the next challenge that we couldn't let Spencer win. So that's why I did it strategically again, to get rid of Trish. So yeah, I wasn't going to play the idol for Trish. And the reason I played my idol that I got rid of it. I knew I was going to get no votes, but I wanted to send a subliminal message to the people. Hey, listen, I don't want no souvenirs. I'm playing this idol because this is the last day I could play it, and I'm going to play it. Setting it up for the next move with my fake idol. So I set it up that way.
I loved your fake idol thing. That was hilarious.
And that's why I sacrificed the regular idol, to just show them, like, listen, guys, I don't need this, but I'm getting rid of it.
You and your spy shack and your fake idol. At one point, I was like, hold on a second. Had they hired an actor to play a cop, to play a construction worker, to play Survivor?
Again, everything was situational. Like, it was on the fly strategies with everything I did. The bag of tricks. It was a reasonable doubt that I was causing. Sometimes I would tell him the truth. Sometimes I would tell him the lies. Then I would tell him a lie, making him think it's the truth. Then I would tell him a truth and making him think it's a lie.
At one point, I thought you didn't have a wife and child as well.
Well, yeah, Jeremiah said that. And for a second, I was like, should I keep lying or should I not lie? And then you say, you know what, I'm going to own it. Because when I first walked in there, I say, hey, guys, listen, I'm here for closure. Anything you guys ask me, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you the truth, and that's what I did.
Well, speaking of closure, we love you. You were awesome. You were absolutely awesome television. I hope we see you again, and good luck with your family.
We love you, Tony. Team Tony won!
I'm Ajay Rochester. Thanks for watching. For all the latest news, gossip, and, of course, all the latest castings, log on to realitywanted.com. And, of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.